Even though a lot of my work, or most of my work, doesn't have literally human figures in it, all of it has some basis in humans. In places in my work, there's a lot of there has been quite a lot of writing, and that kind of shows a more. There's quite a lot of existential kind of a lot of things about the human condition, but it's kind of in the background. So the front, all my work kind of feels very optimistic and kind of there's lots of movement and depth and things like that. But just behind all that, there's this slightly kind of darker side that's concerned with just how we live as humans. I was only really ever that good at art at school, and everything else I was okay at academic sort of stuff, but not brilliant. And I never realised how you could make a living out of art. And then luckily I found out about graphic design from doing work experience for the printers, and from that I actually started to get into typography. I spent 10 years working as a graphic designer, but at the same time I was doing my own work under the name of Supermundane. Finally I thought, oh, I can get this out onto a website, and then it got picked up really by people at the west coast of America. I have no idea why. It was a very odd thing. I'm kind of influenced by all kinds of things, not just visual, and really like music and poetry and novels. And there's a man named Robert Wyatt who I really like, who has like a very playful approach to what he does. He doesn't take himself too seriously, but he experiments quite a lot, and he seems to be willing to fail as well, which is something I like. There's a mixture of styles in what I do, but at the basis of it, there's this love of line for the sake of line. I really enjoy the qualities of lines, and I use them quite optically as well. I try and use weird perspectives, or in my kind of more organic drawings, where every line intersects with every other line, and because of that, they create this kind of idea of depth that isn't there. A lot of my stuff's drawn in pen. I've been doing acrylic paintings, and recently I've been using a kind of graffiti marker called Crink. I use the computer, as everybody does nowadays, but that's for quite geometric work that I do. And I use an old program called Freehand that hasn't been updated in 10 years, and nobody uses it anymore. Supermundane, it actually comes from when I worked at my first job, which was in a kettle factory in the Midlands. After I left college, I was designing the packaging and occasionally the stuff that went on the kettles. For fun, I would read the dictionary, which says something about how boring the job was. And within that dictionary, I found the term supermundane. So it's like a real word, and a lot of people think it actually means super boring or super mundane, as it says, but it actually means beyond the earth, or above earthly things. So it actually means the opposite of what people think it does, which is what I was attracted to in the first place.